a neat category, always deemed in outcast since I was in Sunday school, and all the cool kids said I was weird. It's exactly the same, they say. Why do you dress that way? Why do you act that way? Why aren't you just like me? So is that what you really wanna say to me? You playing games with me, telling me if I'm unkind, but still you abandon me, calling me words I'm not, painting a picture that's false. You must not know my heart, but I know it isn't your fault. You live in a world in your clutch, you don't get out very much. Living in a fake world filled with facades and chaotic behavior. You pull the lever for fun, you'll fire, then you just run. Fire drill, what would happen if a nuke just hit when you say bye?
You saw our handplates? Human, those are private. How did you ever see them? My defenses were impregnable. How did you do such a thing? No, they're not a skeleton thing or a monster thing. They're a...
Jeez, kid, you're not real good at privacy, are you? We've got our reasons for keeping them to ourselves.
Yes, very good, complex, incontrovertible reasons that anyone could understand. Like what? I just don't like looking at it, that's why. It makes me feel like... I'm... forgetting something. Is something important?
Meh, some things are better off forgotten. But not that spaghetti, huh? How's it coming along?
Oh, right. I need to turn the heat up.
It's been 6 hours since I've removed them from the MD solution. They are clumsy and confused, fearful. They stumble and trip like As expected, little experience in non-suspension has led to a difficult adjustment period, particularly regarding ambulatory motion. It will come in time, I'm sure. They are currently separated, as the nature of their interest in each other is unclear at this point. I will investigate this more carefully at a later date, after they've mastered movement. They do not appear to understand me or be capable of speech. They may not be truly sentient. It'll be easier if they are not. It does not matter either way. The line was crossed long ago. There is no turning back now. What's going on? What is all this screaming? Oh, for God's sake. Limb detachment for a skeleton is completely normal and entirely painless. There is absolutely no call for carrying on like this. You can't understand me anyway. Why am I even bothering talking to you? I need to bring the arm close enough to reattach it. Stay still. I'm not in the mood for this. Stay still. Stay still. Once close enough and with proper will, the arm reattaches. No pain, no fuss. Completely unremarkable and entirely undeserving of such attention-seeking behavior. What a waste of my time. At least the other one's been quiet so far. The taller one is needier than I'd like. I still need to take steps to prevent attachment. 7 hours since removal. The smaller one is awake. I'm surprised that he survived at all, given his frailty, and that he's woken up again so quickly. He may be hardier than I initially thought, which is promising. I went to observe him in person. A transcript of my notes follows. I am keeping my distance at first. He is poking and prodding at the walls and the floor, though he does not come near the force field. Maybe he senses the aura it gives off. I get the impression he is trying to find a way out. Perhaps he wants to go back to the suspension. He has yet to make any sound. It's preferable to the other one's constant whining and crying. He may not be capable of it, or he may just be too focused on his exploration. I've come closer, and he's caught sight of me. He's wary and suspicious, though still silent. Obviously, he sees me as a potential threat, so he's more perceptive than the other one, at least. I've taken another step closer. His eyes flared a deep purple color interlaced with blue, and he backed up against the wall. Another step closer, his eyes are growing brighter. I can sense magic gathering within his soul. But he's too new to know how to make it manifest into an attack. If he could open his mouth, I'm sure he'd snap at me. You can't use magic to defend yourself yet, as much as you try. I wonder what you'll do if I keep approaching. Closer still. He's getting quite frantic. He's rattling his bones at me. At that point, I decided to leave him be, to attend to other matters. The two of them differ strikingly in temperament. One docile, one hostile. Whether that will make things easier or harder, I will have to see. An unexpected development. I left them within earshot of one another while I was clearing one of the workrooms for future use. It didn't take them long to realize the other was nearby. Perhaps a side effect of the nature of their souls. Huh? They made meaningless animal noises at each other. Subject one is capable of it after all. Nothing unusual or noteworthy, but then began to babble. I could recognize the noises they were starting to string together. Bits and pieces of things I'd said to them. They even mimicked my tone of voice. Though clearly without understanding, they can speak. They can learn. They are sentient, after all. I don't know how I feel about this. I specifically accelerated their growth because I didn't want them to look like children. I don't want them to sound like children. It's unnecessary. I will introduce them to each other tomorrow, with the proper precautions in place. This wasn't in my plans, but one must always be ready to improvise. We'll see what happens. This is it. Subject 1 and 2 are going to meet. I'm keeping a tight hold on both of their souls. Don't touch me!
Don't touch me.
So if they fall to fighting, it should be a matter of moments to separate them before either is hurt. It's best to be prepared. I'm not entirely sure what to expect. They've seen each other. They seem at a loss for what to do. Subject 1 seems wary. Subject 2's eyes have begun glowing a warm red-orange color. Subject 1 soon began glowing light blue in response. This seems to have calmed them a little. They are approaching each other. They are curious about the other, as one may expect. They're the first living thing they've seen aside from myself. After all, they are very eager and quick to learn. Already their level of speech has advanced at an astonishing rate by speaking to each other. as one learns something new.
Shh, no cry, no cry.
So the other builds off of what they've learned to new heights. A mutual scaffolding. They're getting very attached to each other very quickly. If I want these two to mature rapidly, leaving them together seems the most obvious choice. At the same time, emotional bonds like this carry their own risks. On the other hand, alright, that's enough. Perhaps those bonds can be exploited later, should the need arise.
He said, hey girl, will you sit with me? Table in the back cafeteria seat. We could be friends if you wanna be, but only till the clock hits 3. After lunch we can walk to class, talk about the boys that we wanna smash, talk about ways to get a little more cash. After that I'll ignore your ass. Oh, the hassle, the fighting, they all wanna bite of me. Photos, more photos, then gossip about hoes that they don't know. Oh, they talk shit though.
I don't want lunchbox friends, no. I want someone who understands, oh. Come to my house, let's start again. Friendship that will last forever, no. No lunchbox friends, no. No lunchbox friends. Come to my house, let's start again. Friendship that will last forever, no. No lunchbox friends, no. No lunchbox friends. Come to my friendship that will last.
They wear a fat ass in the brand new jeans, want a baby in the back with the man of their dreams. That isn't the life for me. Gotta look like a fucking damn Barbie. Going on TV, people have high expectations of me. Wanna be my best friend and judge me if I smoke a little weed. Makes no fucking sense to me. The hassle, the fighting, they all wanna bite of me. Photos, more photos, then gossip about who